Hey, this is Jay, and welcome to The Painted Fool. This is just another medium for me to share more of myself with the world, and I have an intention on just bringing everyone together and making a space where we can all share tips and methods and to overcome our challenges, and it could be anything. Some of us may have challenges focusing, or we may be dealing with whatever we're dealing with. But I wanted to just bring people together in another way. You know, some of us aren't necessarily visual. Some of us love to have the podcast playing while we're doing a million other things at once. And I'm one of those. Like, I love to have a podcast playing as I'm driving, or I have a podcast playing as I'm, painting, or whatever the case is. And this is something for me where it's not necessarily motivational, but it's more geared towards solutions. And it also is geared towards me sharing parts of my artwork, but it is still geared towards let's all come together. Let's all just have a conversation. Even if you have nothing to say, let's just listen, whatever it is. That's the space I'm creating. So why The Painted Fool? Well, I'm a painter. I love art. I am an oil painter primarily. I do paint in other mediums, but oil is my preference. And the Fool comes in. It's an archetype of essentially a child. And with the child, there is, the child sees infinite possibilities in everything, and the child is cheerful and naive to a degree, and that's who I am at the core. At the core of who I am, I'm a big ass kid. So I said, this is going to be another way for me to just share myself. So why not? So what could I talk about? I know I have a lot of things I want to talk about, but let's kind of talk about one of the most important things right now, and then from there, I'll just kind of just let it just go. So, last 2017, I've been through some stuff to where I wanted to channel it into some art. I created a painting or a series, and I decided to create a series of paintings to relate to the process of us all, where it was just more of a personal thing, but I decided to share it. But it's a painting of essentially getting down to the root of problems and bringing them up, identifying them, coming to a solution and working towards it, right? So I titled that painting called The Fisherman, and the fisherman depicts a diamond or a gemstone down into the deep depths and bottoms of the ocean, and then there are some really not so pleasant looking sea creatures that are approaching it, and one of them is going to grab a bite of that bait more so, and it's going to be pulled up from the sea. It's a symbol of digging out the root causes of your issues, or like uncovering traumas and bringing them up to the forefront of the mind and consciously deciding, okay, what am I going to do with this? It's the moment of awareness of saying, okay, this is my issue, or these are my issues. What am I going to do next? The painting was started from 2017 when I decided to just sever some ties, and I did some internal work of seeing why I was attracting these relationships that I needed to sever. What were some issues with myself, and what do I need to do now to ascend from that? And how do I make wiser decisions? What do I need to look for in the future? So it started from there. But of course, I had to do some even deeper work and look at some of my own challenges, even more challenges. It just opened up my whole mind to issues that I have that I was ignoring because I was so busy in trying to avoid certain things from happening with said relationships that needed to die. So the painting, the Fisherman Series, is something that is never ending. And I wanted to specify that, and I think I did specify that in the video that I posted on my YouTube channel, that this is something that will never ever end. We are constantly getting to the root cause, or we're constantly looking fear in the face, and we're constantly making efforts to go beyond our fears every day. And sometimes we have to unearth some more things. Then we may have addressed this fear of this, but we have to go back down and pull up some more. And that's a constant process. So the fisherman's work is never done. And it may not ever finish, even through death. We may not get to the root cause of everything, and we may not be able to fully heal from every pain. But, why stop yourself from living as best as you possibly could? You know what I mean? So the series started there, and I got through a lot during that time, and with proof of the dedication of my work, of the internal work, I ascended in other areas of my life through business or through making new connections with people, and devoting more time to myself and growing myself, being able to truly own in on more issues that I've had and come to more practical solutions. So I can attest to the process of the fisherman and how that was a marker for me, a point of reference for me to constantly remember that I do have the capacity to get through things. It's just a matter of taking the time to understand what it is first. And that's the symbolism. Sometimes there are things that we necessarily may not be able to identify where these issues or our problems come from. And if we take the time and draw it up and give it a name, identify it, give it to some type of connection, understand it, then we can begin to dismantle it or allow ourselves to lord over it. Or it becomes our chariot, and it takes us to different places in the world or in our minds, and that places us in another direction. And that's essentially going higher, right? So that's where it was for me. Now, today, I'm working on, it's a series of 3 essentially. So painting starts as the one section is you're at least drawing it up. The second part is face-to-face or contemplation. Okay, what do you do when you finally draw it up? And you're looking at it dead in the eyes, this demon or your traumas or your issues, right? What are you doing? Typically, they're drawn up half the time, and we don't even realize that they're pulling our ships across the ocean. And these symbols are synonymous to the mind, levels of the mind, the subconscious mind and the conscious levels of the mind. Whereas it's above the water, it's on a conscious level. So sometimes where we have different things that trigger these reactions, and we have these demons or our issues lording over us, or they're dictating our reactions, and they're dictating how we go about our day to day. And when we do the work of the fisherman, we're in the second space of the face-to-face or the contemplation. What are we doing with this now? I see that I, for the longest, have struggled with procrastination, for instance. Okay, am I going to now allow this to continue to run its course? Am I going to continue to allow this one issue prevent me from getting to the next level of my life? Or am I going to make the conscious effort now to come up with a plan, make myself more consciously aware of, now I'm going to control this. I'm going to now jump straight into what I need to get done to get this matter dealt with. And then we go to the third stage, which is either going to remain your demon or it's going to be your chariot. It's one of the two. I'm making a conscious decision to make it my chariot, my chariots. So, for instance, I struggle with procrastination. I've struggled with fear in multiple areas, and I've just made efforts to relieve some of that. And again, it's a testament to my new relationships. It's a testament to where I am now. It's manifested my ability to have gotten through that. So I can't share this unless I have accomplished something. So that's why I'm coming to this channel now. It's just like, it can be done. So where am I now? I'm currently in the process of working on face-to-face, and it will be done shortly. But yeah, like I said, these demons could be anything. It could be anything that you struggle with, whether it be public speaking, whether it's meeting new people, whether it's stepping out of your comfort zone in any way, shape, or form. What fears are holding you back? It could be, like I said, procrastination. It could be laziness. It could be the inability to focus. It could be so many different things. So I'm in a place where I've been doing some more fishing. I've been doing some more digging out, and there's been some more challenges. I'm willing to look in the eye and say, all right, listen, I'm going to come up with this plan, and I'm going to just jump it into action. If it doesn't work, I'm going to go back. But this particular issue no longer lords over me. So there was this book. I was going through my emails, right? And Amazon sent me a link for like Prime Reads. And I found this book that was titled, I think it was called something like Fast Focus. I think that's what it's called. Let me see. It's called Fast Focus by Damon Zaharides. His last name is spelled Zaharaides. I'm only like 14% through the book. I'm reading it digitally. But so far, see, I have so much to say, but I've made a commitment to really, really work on focus and understand what focus is. Not necessarily tunnel vision, because that's not necessarily what I want, but I want to really understand focus. And yes, I know tunnel vision is part of that, but I want to really grasp it to many different aspects. So I'm reading this book right now, and I know that for me, I have the desire or the will to have a greater sense of focus and understanding of what it is. And my plan in doing so, my next step was, all right, let's get some literature, let's get some understanding on what focus is. And then now we're going to, after this is done, we're going to, of course, place these things in action, and then we're going to get some results. I haven't gotten the results yet because I haven't developed that plan. I'm still getting the information. But I can tell you the will, the desire for it is active as we speak. It's active now. I'm working on that right now. Like, that's what I'm so dedicated towards increasing my focus that I've just been conscious of it every moment since today. So I'm making it work for me. This desire and this will is going to burn brightly until this is done, and to the point to where it is just simultaneous, it's automatic. It's nothing where I have to turn on, because I recognize that I have my nature is a little airy. I'm like an airhead to a degree. Like, I tend to daydream, and that's my Piscean nature, like having that Pisces energy. Pisces energy is very often off somewhere in a whole other dimension, and that's just daydreaming and fantasizing, and that's a problem for me because I'm 30 years old. Like, I want to be able to definitely bring these things that I have into practice, more of what I'm imagining into practice, and having more structure, more organization, and getting these things out and about. And I mean creative ideas, whatever it is, virtues I want to develop, everything I'm talking about that I envision and I want them physically manifested, right? So that's where I'm at right now. It's getting through to the focus part. So that's the first part. This is the first space of achieving anything. Like the fisherman, you need to have a desire or will to really get to the root. You keep that desire and that will, and you just work through that. You get the help you need, get the plan in action, or do whatever you need to do. You get that plan, and then you work on that plan of action, get to the acting, getting to the practical matter, and you will get results. You'll always get something positive from those results. It'll be more informative regardless. You're going to get information, whether it was effective or ineffective. Go right back. If it wasn't effective, you may have to go somewhere else. But if it is effective, great. You just jumped up a step. The same even if it's ineffective. You just jumped up a step. You've gained more information. Now you may need more help, or you may need another way to get it done. So start with the desire, start with the will. That's where you begin. And for me, when I severed those ties, then I said, I need to figure me out more. I need to get back to who I am at the core, what I need, what's healthy for me versus what I feel like I want. And I have to shake these modes of comfort, leave the whole world of comfort behind, and just to dedicate myself to just pure out, just listen. I need to know what's good for me, and I'm open and I'm willing to just receive whatever that I genuinely need for my development, for my growth. I don't care how it feels. If it's painful, I'm going to get this shit done. I'm going through it. I love change. Like once I'm in a center space, like I genuinely love change. I love to just jump to a whole new this changed from paper to paperless. Oh, let's do this now. Like, I'm cool with it. I adapt to change like nothing. I have no problem with changes. So it works for me. But you have to be in the right. You just have to be in your particular mode, or in your thing where your mojo is, and it gets better from there. But yeah, I'm starting here. I'm starting in dedicating myself to more focused work and understanding what focus is. And I'm going to update my progress as I go, as I'm working on the second Fisherman painting, face to face. I'm working on that, and I'm going to share that. But I'm going to, like the first one, do a video and then a shorter video this time, and then I'm going to jump on the podcast and just share more of that. And yeah, we'll just have this room and this space for more to talk about. So with all that running of the mouth said, I will you greatness. Have fun with the process. It's not meant to be so dramatic and extra. All the things that we go through during these processes of developing the growing pains, etc. Sometimes we make it more serious than what it is, i.e. the moments when we're doing well and then we notice that energies around us are shifting, people around us are shifting, or people may not necessarily like that about us, so we may start to lose more of our older circle, and we put so much energy on people changing and all this stuff, and it's really not that serious. If you lose older friends, if you lose family members, if you start to look different to other people, if they start to think that you're better than them, it's really not that deep. For instance, that's one of the many examples of the things that happen in this process. Not everyone's going to be on your side. Not everyone's always going to be there, and they weren't meant. If as you're growing up, they weren't meant to be there, and that's all right. It is what it is. But we shouldn't focus so much on the things that we lose, more of the things that we gain, and that's when you begin to, you almost become addicted to growth. You become addicted to just going into the void, just jumping, literally becoming the fool and jumping from that cliff, and just opening yourself to experiences, opening yourself to new relationships, opening yourself up to new places and everything. It just happens that way. So, yeah, let's focus on the things that you lose. Let's focus on the passive aggression. Let's focus on all that other stuff, because it really, at the end of the day, the greater things that you retrieve and you receive is eternal. You keep it forever. You know what I mean? The virtues I'm referring to. So, with all that said, I am going to close out, and I will be back. I don't know if I'm going to, how often this thing is going to be, but I love to have these things, and I want this on record. So, hey, I might do a weekly. I might do updates on my focus, my focus path, my lessons, and yeah, they could just be random. I like it. I like it like that. I'm not going to put myself on a schedule or anything like that, because I'll just get annoyed and not want to do it. And my loathing for I don't really like too much structure like that. I don't like the feeling of like, oh, you got to do it this way, unless I have to do it, unless it's for I'm developing a new skill or some sort, then I'm cool with it. But when it's coming to my creative process and just sharing whatever it is that's flowing, it's just going to come however it comes. So love you all, genuinely mean it, and yeah, see you or speak with you or hear you next time. I'm out.